Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a true story that honestly tests the absolute limits of parental love. We're going to walk through a real-life scenario that forces a mother into an impossible, heart-wrenching financial corner. It's one of those situations that really makes you ask yourself what you value most when the chips are entirely down.
Picture this. You're a 32-year-old single mom named Sarah. You wake up facing a terrifying medical emergency with absolutely no safety net to catch you. You've got $2 on one side and a symbol of your past on the other. It's a striking, visceral reality that perfectly frames the desperate situation she found herself in.
Part 1. A mother's worst nightmare. The breaking point.
So, Sarah is already working 2 jobs just to keep the lights on for her family. But routine life comes to a screeching halt when she has to rush her 6-year-old son, Ethan, to the ER. Now, this wasn't just a standard childhood cold. We are talking about a 104-degree fever, uncontrollable shaking, and severe breathing difficulties. Any parent listening knows the sheer, icy panic those symptoms bring.
They get to the ER, the doctor evaluates Ethan and hands her a prescription with a powerful promise. He says, "This will save him." You can just imagine the immediate rush of relief that comes with a diagnosis and a cure, right? But in our healthcare system, a cure is sometimes only half the battle. That relief was instantly shattered the second the doctor handed over the paperwork.
Because her relief crashes into the sheer weight of this number, $298, just for 10 days of medicine. Imagine holding that pharmacy bill right up to your face, staring at it. You are an exhausted 32-year-old mom with messy hair and tears are just streaming down your cheeks. That piece of paper holds the key to your son's survival, and to Sarah, it might as well cost $1 million for all she can afford.
Which brings us to part 2, the ticking clock, the financial deficit, and total isolation. Look at the staggering contrast here. It's immediate and it is terrifying. On one hand, her entire digital safety net is sitting at exactly $2.14. On the other hand, a massive pharmacy bill demanding $298. When your wallet is completely empty, that gap between your reality and life-saving medicine, it creates an immediate, almost unbearable anxiety. And the pressure isn't just financial. The clock is ticking loudly. Ethan's condition dictates he only has about 48 hours before things turn critical. Waiting 6 agonizing days for her next paycheck is an equation that literally equals tragedy if she doesn't act fast. Desperate, Sarah cycles through her only lifelines. First, she calls her ex-husband. Straight to voicemail. He's blocked her number. Then, she calls her mom, pleading for help, only to hear the heartbreaking response, "I'm sorry, baby, I just don't have it." It's a devastating dead end. She literally ends up sitting on the curb outside a closed pharmacy, holding her burning, feverish child and staring down at her wedding ring, the very last thing Ethan's dad ever gave her. Part 3. The Pawn Shop Sacrifice. A 6 a.m. decision.
Picture this scene in your head. It's early morning, bathed in the warm, yellow tungsten light of a local pawn shop. Behind the counter is an old broker watching her with incredibly sad eyes. Right behind Sarah, in a little stroller, 6-year-old Ethan is fast asleep, totally unaware of what his mother is doing for him. The broker evaluates her only asset, takes a look at the boy, and says, "This is gold. I can give you $320.
With shaking hands and fresh tears rolling down her exhausted face, Sarah deliberately slides the gold wedding ring off her finger. Think about the gravity of that. She is literally trading the last physical artifact of her past, of her marriage, for the cash she desperately needs to secure her son's future. As she takes it off, her fingers feel completely empty, a physical sensation that completely mirrors the massive emotional toll of the moment. The transaction is done, and she doesn't hesitate for a second. Counting her tears against that $320 in cash, she immediately races back to the pharmacy. She buys that 10-day prescription, and she holds that little cardboard box of medicine to her chest like it was the gold. Because in that exact moment, to a mother saving her son, that medicine was infinitely more valuable than the jewelry she just left behind.
Part 4. An unexpected apology. 2 days later.
The incredible news here is that the medicine works exactly as promised. Within 48 hours, Ethan's terrifying fever finally breaks. His breathing goes back to normal. And you know what? That smile returns. It confirms that her agonizing choice at the pawn shop was absolutely the right one. She traded gold for her boy's health, and she won.
But then comes the twist to this story that honestly caught me completely off guard. See, Sarah had made a post in a local Facebook group about the whole ordeal. Her ex-husband, the exact same guy who blocked her number during the crisis, saw the post. Next thing she knows, he shows up at her front door. But he's not angry, he's crying. And he delivers this incredibly unexpected apology, admitting, "I never knew it was that bad. I thought you were exaggerating."
And he doesn't just bring an apology either. He hands her a check for $5,000. Talk about a stark, triumphant contrast to that devastating $298 pharmacy bill we looked at earlier. He offered it as real, tangible support for both Ethan and Sarah, a total acknowledgement of the unimaginable weight she had been carrying all by herself.
Ultimately, when you look at the final emotional ledger of this whole ordeal, it is profoundly balanced. On one side, what was lost? A gold wedding ring, an artifact of a broken relationship. On the other side, what was gained? A son's life saved, and an unexpected vindication from the very person who had turned his back on them. Sarah and Ethan walked away from that early morning pawn shop visit with far more than they lost.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you reflecting on the immense, heavy moral weight of a mother's love. The ring is gone, sure, but her family's future is secure. When you stare down the impossible math of $2.14 against a child's life, what would you have done in Sarah's shoes? Let that sink in. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.